Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now. Come on, Scooby-Doo, I see you, pretending you got a sliver.
Welcome into another episode of the Captain and Madden Show. Primed to take over 2026. Welcome into our first episode for 2026. Mike Madden on my end of things. The captain on his end of things, Michael Corby. Happy New Year, Captain.
Happy New Year, Mike Madden.
You had told me before we started you were recovering a little illness during the holiday?
Yeah, could have gotten the flu or whatever it was. Everybody was sick either before going into the holiday or kind of got sick after the holiday. So, a little banged up. I guess that the week of New Year's, I was a little on the sick side, but luckily came out of it. But by New Year's Day, I was pretty much feeling better. So,
that's good.
But yeah, fevers, chills, and cough, and all the good things that make winter just lovely.
Did anybody appear at your door and sing a little jingle to you, and tell you that they were the nurse that likes to? Mm-hmm.
No, unfortunately, I didn't get it. No flowers were delivered. There's no save the captain across the Keyport water tower or anything like that. There was no. Louis Anderson was not dressed in a flower delivery outfit hanging out outside my door.
Well, maybe next time. But I'm glad to hear that you're on the mend. We did have that 2-week break, so if there was ever a time to get a little bit under the weather and try to recover a little bit, it was.
As the Beastie Boys would say, it's time to get ill.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if it was that kind of ill, but everybody's back.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes, please.
I feel like you may be this type of person. I believe it was a Larry David thing.
Oh, yes.
Do you have a date where you stop saying Happy New Year to people?
It's weird. I think I was saying Happy New Year until like the end of January. And I really want to. I want to put a cap on it. I agree with Larry that you should have. It's like a 5-day Happy New Year, and then that's it. Then your Happy New Years are exhausted. I was giving out Happy New Years for too long last year, I think.
I kind of feel like this is the weekend. Like after this weekend, I don't think you need to say Happy New Year anymore to anybody.
True. And
the tree comes down. Your decorations come down. Usually by this weekend, I think the holidays are. You don't have to say Happy Holidays or Happy New Year to anybody after this weekend.
But all right. So if I haven't seen anybody since Christmas or New Year's, can I still ask them how their holiday was?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. All right.
Absolutely.
See,
I'm just saying, like the whole thing of like, well, you like. Like I walked into the office on Monday and everybody was like, "Oh, Happy New Year!"
Yes.
And I was kind of like, "Oh, it's right." Like a lot of people weren't in last week, and like, all right, they don't know that I was working from home last week, and that I don't really like. So I don't know who was in the. I was like, okay, Monday, Happy New Year. By like Wednesday,
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah. By like Wednesday, I was like, yeah, whatever. It's It's over, Johnny.
Come on. Let's just call it what it is. We'll just say that we caught up with each other. But no, I like
the same people who have to say, "Hey, TGIF" in their emails on every Friday.
Yeah, get out of here with that noise. That's a crime punishable by death. By the way,
speaking of,
I know it's
speaking
Friday.
of things punishable by death. I heard you were watching a documentary over there.
Oh, yes. Oh, good. This is the part of the show where we do documentary talk. So, yes, during the break that we were off, HBO Max did release the Counting Crows documentary. or should I say, let's pretend that Adam Duritz is the only important person in that band. First of all, and this. If you don't want to hear what I have to say about this, probably skip forward by, maybe 10 minutes. No, it's not going to be 10 minutes. I'm only going to be talking about for like 2-3 minutes. But they only cover the first 2 Counting Crows albums. So it's like, all right, when you really like them, this is what was going on behind the scenes. And a lot of it is like Duritz, I was depressed. I had a hard time being a star. I got a regular job between albums, blah, blah, blah. And I think this was the issue with him in the press at the time, where it was like, just relax. And he's like the anti-star guy. And it's like, he's explaining that it had to do with his mental health and he was harming himself and so on and so forth. And I feel bad about that. The problem, though, is that it's the through line for the whole, for the whole documentary. It's just how miserable he was, like, in the spotlight. You're a high profile guy. It's 25 years later. Like, we forgive you for that because, they got a ton of accolades very quick in their career. And then the emphasis on them died down to a point where it's like, is Bill Simmons just a super fan of this band where he had to tell this story? Or is he friends with Duritz where he's like, I had to tell Adam's story, or I had to let my documentary crew do this story. This is a story that didn't need to be told. He's not that interesting.
I know from listening to his podcast and stuff that he is a big, I think the 90s was probably in his wheelhouse, because I know he's a big Pearl Jam guy.
Okay.
He's had Vedder and a couple of different guys on separately and then all together. So I think that's probably his wheelhouse, he's not, I think he's a couple of years older than both of us. So that's probably, Counting Crows.
He's in college at the time. Sure. Yeah. Or as a young professional. I get it. If you're that interested in what the band meant to you at that time, great, do a documentary. Cover the rest of their goddamn career, though.
Yeah. But everybody, that's why I always really, when, the Pearl Jam 20 documentary came out, it was done by Cameron Crowe, and you could tell that, he, not only was he a fan of the band, but he knew the band.
Sure. Yeah.
And it wasn't it wasn't a documentary where, 10 came out and Verse came out and Vitalogy, and then, and 20 years later, those guys are still
right.
He went through the history of the band. So if you were a real diehard Pearl Jam fan, they talked about the recording of Yield. They talked about, Backspacer album and them, making a deal with Target and that type of stuff. And that's always a thing. A lot of time, those, the behind the musics and the VH1 Legends, that series,
right?
They always focused on one area of it was Pink Floyd did a lot of other things than record Dark Side of the Moon,
true,
so, or Zeppelin was they had a lot of other hits other than Stairway to Heaven, and Stairway to Heaven was on their 4th album, by the way. We don't need to spend 20 minutes on recording a Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
That's what everyone's always going to focus on. But I'd
watch it because there is some interesting like of them recording the first two albums, and they kind of get into a little bit more of the, how they were perceived and viewed through the industry with some interesting sound bites, but you really get dragged into the Adam Duritz had depression issues, and it's like, man, talk to Ben Mize.
I could be wrong, but I would imagine the lineup that you go and see Counting Crows this summer is not the original lineup. Right?
There's enough guys. There's still enough guys that are in that band. I mean, there's 23 guys in that band, like, and I'm being facetious there, but it might only be 11.
P-Funk.
But it's 11 fucking people on stage. Like, this is a lot of people. And they talk. Oh, can we curse again? Are we allowed to curse?
Yeah, the holidays are over.
Holidays are over. Okay, all right. But but there's a lot of people, and they talk to a good amount that like were there for the first 2 records. But it's like, you know, I wanted more. I got a lot. Basically, like it was the documentary is like a Counting Crow show. You come expecting to hear a certain thing a certain way, and then Adam Duritz decides to meander off the page and bend notes and sing in his own style because that's how he feels today. And he eventually just drowns out like 4 guys that were in the band consistently. So that's that. What was your
So it was a lot of hope, and by the end of it, you were just like, you know what, I'm leaving this thing early and beating the traffic. Because I know the last song is probably going to be like Rain King, and fuck it, like
I know
I'm not sitting through another 20 minutes of my life is garbage.
Yeah, this intro to Rain King is going to wear me out. What did you watch during the holiday and during your illness, maybe? But
so I kind of discovered this. So everybody loves a good "did this happen?" or in Florida, or just stories of headlines of. I believe there's a thing now where you could put like your birthday, the year, and it will tell you like what the main headline was, what happened in Florida, and all that stuff.
Okay,
people love those stories.
Yeah.
There is a show on HBO. HBO Max or whatever it's called.
Second plug for HBO Max.
It's called It's Florida Man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I watched season 1. There are 2 seasons, and basically they take stories that were headlines, tell the story. It's a half-hour show. They reenact it, but it's with either comedians or sketch comedy actors or just regular comedy actors. It's hilarious. I highly recommend season 1. There is a story about a guy putting up a Craigslist ad looking to earn extra money because he was obsessed with a DJ, and the DJ was performing in Denver as part of a music festival. A guy contacts him and asks him to cut off a certain number of toes. Fry them in a pan and to eat them in front of him. For a certain undisclosed amount of money. This guy so desperately wants to go to Denver that he agrees to it.
Great.
I'm not going to tell you how it ends, but the reenactment is magnificent. I believe that, as the kids like to say, chef's kiss.
Okay, right.
But all of them are very like, it's a little bit kind of like Drunk History, where there is somebody like telling the story. There's a narrator, and then they're splicing in the reenactments with actual interviews, but from people who were really involved in the story.
Okay.
So
eyewitnesses.
Well, not eyewitness. They were they interviewed the guy who was going to cut the dude's toes off, and then they interviewed his girlfriend who he brought along with. Like, so I mean, and then they're splicing in the reenactments, which are done very well. But yeah, each episode's like 24 minutes, 25 minutes top. So you could basically go through season 1 in like 2 hours. So 2.5 hours.
And that's that I saw the trailer for it. And I was like, this is interesting. So yeah, that definitely is, it looks like it's one to keep an eye on. Hey, football playoffs start this weekend.
Oh, you mean they play? I didn't know there were playoffs in the NFL. I thought you just played. I just played your 17 games and then that's it.
Yeah, no, they actually.
And then you get ready for the draft. And then you get ready for the draft.
No, that just happens to New York City teams.
Okay.
Thoughts Give me.
Am I the? I shared this on Facebook, so please forgive me if for anybody who follows me on there.
I only look at Facebook for marketing purposes.
Okay. I kind of feel like I know it was a somewhat exciting end of the last week because you had the whole Carolina played Tampa on Saturday, but then you had to wait for Sunday for the winner of the Saints
Falcons,
that bullcrap of a league. The NFC South is it's the worst.
Yeah, burn it down.
Nobody deserves to win that conference.
No,
they should just take somebody else.
Burn it
Detroit
down.
should be in the playoffs.
Seriously. Maybe not them, but
or somebody. Yeah. And then, of course, Sunday night was Pittsburgh and Baltimore, which I kind of feel like, I don't know, man. The Pittsburgh-Baltimore thing is just, the games are always really boring to me. I know it got like real exciting towards the end, but I'm sorry. By the time it got exciting, it was 11 o'clock and some of us have to go to work on Monday.
Right, yeah.
So like they always start off like it's 7-3 at halftime or it's 10-7 at half. Like, and I kind of feel like Baltimore and Pittsburgh play each other 5 times a year, and they're always on Sunday night. Like,
they dominate the.
For the people who are baseball fans who say I'm so tired of Yankees Red Sox, I completely understand because I am so tired of Pittsburgh
and Baltimore. Yeah,
like that. Yeah. So so it's one of those like. There are some teams I'm kind of excited about, but there are obviously, like Carolina's going to the playoffs. Like, they're one and done. Like,
probably.
So,
gun to your head. Who you
I find myself for some reason rooting for. I know it's not going to happen, but I find myself rooting for Sam Darnold and the Seahawks.
All right, their defense is excellent. They know how to score. They're red hot right now. They're so hot right now that I could see it. Yeah.
But
I think the Rams are very good too.
Rams are. Stafford's been there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Darnold still has that thing of he can't win on prime time. He doesn't win big games and all that stuff. So, which kind of is what is like kind of making me trepidatious about picking them. Is that I don't think the Eagles. I think they're just too much of a mess. The 49ers are too hurt, and same thing with Green Bay. Like, they lost Micah Parsons. And
Bears are a surprise, but I don't think the Bears are ready necessarily.
No.
I think the Bears are going to have a fun time. They're going to win a playoff game, right? And they're going to make it to next weekend, but I don't think they get past that because this is one thing that kind of begs the question. I do think there's a lot of these playoff teams this year that are going to be playoff teams probably for the next 2 or 3 years, but they're also either in their first time around or still untested in their second time around being at the playoff level. So I think the Bears fit in that. They're kind of a fun team, but do they really cross over and make it to the level that they need to? Feel the same way about Denver on the AFC side, and the Patriots are kind of like in that. I think they'll be fun. I think they'll be interesting for a game.
With the Patriots is they didn't really beat anybody in the regular season.
Right. They're going to get hammered by the people that say that their schedule was weak.
And it's just I think the thing is like with the AFC is like I think everybody's just so glad that it's not going to be Kansas City, that whoever it is will be it'll be like a breath of fresh air. So if it is Denver or if it is
Buffalo.
I don't even know.
I think Buffalo is sort of a fraud.
Yeah, their defense.
They're the type of team that should be like, they should be looking at this and saying like, it's finally our time. Our two biggest, the teams that trip us up the most in the playoffs aren't here this year. There's no Ravens. There's no Chiefs.
The thing is, it's almost kind of like when they talk about Lamar Jackson. It's like, oh, he's great and he's this and he's blah, 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 and he's dynamic and he's a league MVP. And the next big game that he wins will be his first. And it's the same thing with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he almost beat the Kansas City Chiefs 4 years ago. He didn't.
Yeah.
Every big game, like they also lost to Cincinnati the year that Cincinnati went to the Super. Like every time, I mean, they've lost on the road, they've lost at home. He's never won a big game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just one of those like, so the next big game that Josh Allen wins will be his first. Like he's been in the league. I mean, you know, as much as they want to give him MVP and everybody wants to kiss his ass, he hasn't really done anything, in my opinion, in the postseason.
But anyway. No, he's actually like, he puts up numbers. It's just somebody figures out a way. And usually that somebody is Patrick Mahomes, but they figure out a way to trip him up in, you know, late in games, and you know he loses his focus. Maybe this is the year that he doesn't have to worry about that, and he, you know, slays the dragons and whatever metaphor you want to throw in there. Seeing is believing.
Not necessarily that I think Bo Nix would outplay him, but I just don't see him going into Denver and beating that defense.
Here's what's crazy about that, and this is exactly what Nix did all season, is that everybody takes Bo Nix lightly until it's late in the game. Bo Nix is he's a type of quarterback, and he does not have a spectacular amount of talent around him. He's got guys that play the right way and are there for him when he needs them. That's the type of team that I could see when they find, if it is the second week or it's a semifinals. That's the type of team I could see they could beat Buffalo and they could go to a Super Bowl if they had the matchup against Buffalo, because that defense will slow. Buffalo has played they've played down to good opponents, and they've overperformed against bad opponents all year. Telltale sign of a team that could be a playoff fraud.
So Buffalo or Denver would be your favorites, and then I guess LA.
I like the Rams,
and I guess the under. And
I would go Seahawks. Horse,
yeah, the dark horse would be Jacksonville and Chicago.
Do I trust
two teams that are playing really well?
They're hot. Yeah,
and nobody's talking about them.
I instead of Jacksonville, I'm gonna throw Houston in there, because that defense is just, they're making everybody look stupid that's on the field against them. And they've been playing hot just as long as literally 1 week. 1 week was one difference between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans this year. Yes, they played
secretly you're in love with Houston.
Yeah, of course. But they all benefited from the collapse of the Colts, and it's made them ultimately they're the wolf in sheep. They could be the teams that pull off big upsets and basically clear space to face each other in a semifinal to go to a Super Bowl. But still,
would Jacksonville like Seattle be the lowest rated Super Bowl?
I mean, it could be.
Or does everybody just watch it no matter who?
Yeah, everybody will watch. Listen, Bad Bunny's on the halftime. Everybody's going to love that. Oh. So you got to complain about him. So let's get to our topic at hand. We've talked enough. We've filibustered enough about other stuff. Let's talk topic. We are building our ultimate Saturday morning cartoon lineups. Now, here's the caveats on this. We are both children of the 80s. And I understand, through some research, there's very little cartoon action these days on Saturday mornings. You've got educational programs. You've got reruns of, your, I guess, like a Jeopardy rerun in the morning or something like that.
Hey,
or like Good Morning America until like noon.
You know what's on Saturday morning?
What's that?
Your favorite ABC guy hosts a Spanish show, I think, on Channel 7.
No,
at like
that's
9 o'clock.
Is it? Oh, is he there?
Yeah,
I thought it was Joe Torres.
No, I think it's your other guy, the unmentionable.
Mr. Unmentionable. Go back and listen to our local
anchors.
I
think he hosts a news show on Saturday mornings.
Good. Glad I sleep in. But in the heyday, Saturday morning cartoons were of utmost importance. So we're basically carving out a block for the morning from 7:30 all the way to 11:30 to run down what each of us would be watching at that particular time. We'll give you a little bit of insight into what these cartoons or shows were, what what the networks were doing, like to kind of keep you engaged, I guess, or entertained or educated, because there's a lot of educational tidbits that are thrown in and around these programs. So why don't we start with your, say, little captain is waking up in the morning on Saturday, rushing towards a television, as one does. How do you start your day? Bowl of cocaine.
I pour myself a big old glass of black coffee.
Okay, right, yes.
And an Entenmann donut. Light myself a cigarette.
Real heater guy.
Go and grab the Asbury Park Press.
Right. Yeah. Flip through the pages.
Start complaining about what's happening in Freehold. Oh, wait a minute. That's
scissors out.
That's my dad.
Cartoon coupon clipping. Right.
Yes. Nice bowl of Cheerios. Okay. 7 a.m. One of the ones that I kind of remember. I don't specifically remember what time, but I know it was an early morning. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna have this as my 7 a.m. It was a cartoon called Plastic Man.
Yes.
Which was kind of a ripoff of Stretch Armstrong, because eventually the whole idea was like, okay, it's an action adventure kind of kids cartoon. His whole thing is that he is ability to stretch, mm-hmm. and to kind of he can move his head, make his neck really long, and look around corners,
yeah. It's real
and all that stuff. Eventually, they did, I think, put out a Plastic Man doll, mm-hmm. which again was a ripoff of 70s Stretch Armstrong.
Right.
But yeah, it was one of those just kind of like Inspector Gadget, where like when he go gadget legs and all that mm-hmm. other stuff. Like there was a lot of those shenanigans where it was like, oh, how are we going to get out of this one? Oh, I know. Like Plastic Man would turn into like a big square like trampoline thing, and everybody would jump on him,
yeah.
and would get out of and would get out of the hole that they fell into, or whatever, yeah. like shenanigans. It was a good 7 a.m. show because it didn't require a lot of brain cells. It had enough action and stuff to kind of keep you awake. Mm-hmm. and like it was a good startup drug for the day. So.
But it was played for laughs. Like Plastic Man was there for the ha-has. He wasn't necessarily like he wasn't fighting enemies.
He accidentally either solved crimes or accidentally got out of whatever, or like he accidentally saved the day. Put it that way.
Also, not in comic books until after this cartoon started airing.
Yeah,
if the lore is correct.
Cartoon was like 81. I think it was like 80 or 81. Yeah. It ran for like maybe 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I think there was a lot of like cartoon came out. It got a little bit of success. Let's make a doll. Let's put a comic book.
But it was under the DC. It was like, I guess.
Yeah,
Hanna-Barbera and DC Comics, I guess, had like a little bit of a partnership.
Somewhat similar to. Yeah, I don't know if this would have been a very good commercial to air during this time. But do you remember Mad Balls?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so Mad Balls were a toy that eventually they made into a cartoon.
Yeah,
and then DC Comic made an actual comic book for a couple of years on it.
Yeah,
so it was like a very similar kind of run.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, I like that.
And then since I know you have a 7 to 8 a.m., I'm gonna piggyback Plastic Man with the classic Scooby Doo. Where are you?
Okay, all right.
I don't think I really need to explain Scooby Doo. I'm sure everybody has seen some sort of version of it. Later on, in later years, I believe there was a Scooby Doo and Scrappy too.
Yeah. Stupid add-on characters, and that was so the Scooby Doo. Where are you? That's the tried and true. Like, here we have like a mystery for the gang to solve,
right?
And we've got like, cool edits. We've got groovy music. We've got zoinks. We've got big stack sandwiches. We're running in air. Reveal. Move on to the next thing. The other versions of Scooby-Doo that were part of Saturday and then ended up in syndication, I liked when Scooby-Doo, like, not just, so they had the regular mystery team, Mystery Inc., as it was never called in the cartoon, and that wasn't added until like they did movies. But the kids and the dog were, I like when they had like, and special guest star Don Knotts or Phyllis Diller, and it's like, Phyllis Diller, like, fucking, why is Phyllis Diller involved? Like, she needs to get involved with mysteries, like, or they would be like, Batman and Robin would be there. It's like, all right, these guys, I understand these guys. Like, this is we're fighting crime. I'm all about it. So when I'm thinking of Scooby-Doo in general, like, I think of like the bigger Scooby-Doo universe where they do have friendships with the Harlem Globetrotters, right? Or Gilligan's Island would be part of it too.
Well, that would have been under the Scooby-Doo Where Are You kind of theme, because eventually they did versions of like Scooby-Doo where it was basically just like, it was Scooby and Shaggy, or Scooby, Shaggy, and Thelma, and then, like I said, they brought in
Scrappy.
It was supposed to be Scooby
Dumb.
Who was supposed to be Scooby's cousin or some bullshit or whatever. Like, they eventually, it was kind of like, well, the guy who does Fred's voice doesn't want to do Fred anymore. He wants more money, so we're just not going to have Fred involved in him anymore.
Yeah,
and it's going to be Scooby and Friends, or Shaggy and Scooby, and then occasionally, somebody else would come along.
Right. And Vincent Price is here now.
Yes.
So that's a good one. The Scooby-Doo lore is pretty strong. For me, I'm not waking up until 7:30. Thank you very much. But I will put on I'll put on Davy and Goliath at 7:30. Classic claymation show from the started in the early 60s. If you don't know what it is, it's a boy and his dog. Davy is the boy, Goliath being the titular dog. Religious themes. This was the Lutheran Church, went and funded Davy and Goliath. So you got religious themes, you got moral lessons, you got like stick-to-itness, like a lot of these, like, easy to understand with a tinge of, well, this is the way that God wanted us to do it, and this is the way that it's been done through, decades and decades. If you want to read about it in the Bible and stuff like that. So it, like, today, it would be the type of thing that's only on like strictly educational television or a religious television program, but it was pretty palatable because it's like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's the same company that made the Gumby cartoons in the 50s and 60s. So like it's kind of like interesting claymation. The dog talks like this, hey Davy. And to me, it was kind of like, all right, like I'm a kid who went to like Catholic school, and it's like, all right, I can understand this because some of this is like stuff that I learned in like religion class or like that I'm learning in school anyway. So, I kind of got the gist of Davy and Goliath a bunch, and again, like that was the earliest thing. So it was like you're rubbing sleep out of your eyes, you're getting a few moral lessons, and you're ready to start your day. Now, I got enough moral lessons Monday through Friday, and had to go to church on Sunday. So Saturday was for sin. So Saturday at 8:00, My brain is completely prepared. I've woken up. I've already eaten breakfast. My day is ready to start. We're starting 8:00, ABC television, the Super Friends.
Ah, yes.
And now I will say this also incorporates the challenge of the Super Friends, which of all of the different subset series, that was the most interesting one because it's a DC Super Friends and all the heroes from that universe of cartoons and action figures, toy lines, all that stuff versus the Legion of Doom. And the Legion of Doom is all the bad guys. So it's good guys versus bad guys. It's they kind of had they had a hero for every, or they had a villain for every hero, except there was like 9 Superman villains that were like shoved into this, or like 3 Batman villains that were on the Legion of Doom, interchangeable at any time, which is okay. But they were paired off. You had, your top tier guys, your Superman, your Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Green Lantern was involved. Apache Chief was made up for this. And then you had the Legion of Doom. So that's why it was like, all right, I can suspend disbelief because you have so much going on in this. The other variants of the Super Friends, and I'm sure you can follow along with this, as we said with the Scooby-Doo, they started to throw in these side characters. So because Batman and Superman and Robin and all those chums weren't fighting the Legion of Doom all the time, they had to take on some local villain or somebody that was trying to, trick the kids in the neighborhood. And then they had to get their Wendy and Marvin and the dog.
Yes.
Were involved with this stuff. And then eventually it was, Jan and Zaina, the Wonder Twins, with their Space Monkey Gleek. And it's like, why can't we just have superheroes? Man, I just want to see the superheroes do stuff. Fight bad guys and take a rocket from outer space.
I can compare it to episodes of not a Saturday morning cartoon, but a during the week cartoon. When you watch Transformers and they would have episodes that were about the father and the son.
Yeah.
That hung out with the Transformers, that nobody gave a shit. That
give a shit. Yeah.
Episode after episode, they always ended up they were gonna do something to the two of them, and you're like, yeah, go ahead. I don't give a shit. I want to see Transformer. I want to see those guys battle. I don't care about these two humans.
And that's
I felt the same. It was kind of it was cool when the Super Friend or as I like to say, the Justice League win against the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
But then when they had the stupid kids and the dog, I was just kind of can we get rid of them? Come on. Just one time, maybe the bomb does go off and we lose the kid and the dog, and oh well.
And you're going to
as long as Aquaman didn't get hurt.
And you're going to tell me that Marvin from Wendy and Marvin figured out to solve this issue before the greatest detective, Batman? Bullshit. I'm not buying that.
And then Superman and all of them are going to sit there and go, thanks, kids. Thanks for your help. We could have never done it without you.
Yeah, no, we easily could have done this without you. You got in our way all afternoon long.
Why did we pick this cartoon?
It was great because it had superheroes on it. That's still the overlying arch of this is it was cool to see superheroes on Saturday morning because they were fucking awesome. And they just get muddied by these side characters who were there because there was a law passed in the 70s that you had to have, if you were going to have children's, create programming for children, it couldn't just be, here's a stupid cartoon like Looney Tunes was. They were like, if you're going to do it, it has to tell a lesson. It has to tell a story that you can learn a lesson from. And it's so then that's why we have Space Monkey Gleek because Space Monkey can teach me a lesson rather than one of the most moral people of all time, Superman. Dumb. But that was your 8:00 show too?
Yeah, Super Friends.
All right.
That's
where do you
again? We're same feeling. I want more superheroes. I want more supervillains. I need less super friends.
Yes.
Even though that's the title of the show.
And that's funny is like
I want, can we just get rid of the friends and just make it Justice League?
I think
I would have been really happy.
I think that was the problem, is that there ended up being like some sort of a legal dispute, and the copyright.
I'm sure it had to do with Ted Knight.
Yeah, the voiceovers. Meanwhile, where do you go at 8:30 for your entertainment?
So, an '80s early morning cartoon that for some reason, I think it was the theme song. It had a really catchy kind of like Gummy Bears and some of those.
Okay.
It was a cartoon called Shirt Tales.
Shirt Tales. Okay.
And I believe I think it was.
Were they raccoons?
They were all different furry type of animals. The whole forest was represented on this. And it was like an action adventure where they kind of solved or either figured out a problem or solved some sort of mystery or whatever it was. And the big thing was like, whatever was going on with them, it would like, so if they were angry, it would say angry on their t-shirts or like, or whatever it was, like the shirt would tell the story of what was going on.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I think it had a very similar jingle to like either the gummy bear, like kind of like in the vein of the Gummy Bears or the DuckTales.
Mm-hmm.
I think it had like a shirt tails or something like that.
Yeah.
And that would always suck you in. And then
okay.
Like 15 minutes into it, you'd be like, oh, this cartoon kind of sucks, but it's like I'm already 15 minutes in.
You're 15 minutes in, yeah.
And it was like week after week, it just like that theme song just sucked you in.
It hit you.
Wow. And then it was just kind of like, and then either two things would happen. Most of the time you stuck it out, or you kind of like 15 minutes into it remembered there's something else on because I believe Shirt Tales was Channel 4. And you were like, there's some, or maybe it was CBS.
I think it was CBS. Yeah.
Whatever it was, like, and then you would like switch over and it'd be like, fucking Care Bears. Like, I'm not, all right, I'll stick with the rest of this bull crap.
Well, it's almost the same concept. Like the Shirt Tales have a, Shirt Tales was NBC. I stand corrected.
Okay, so you would switch over to one of the others and you would just be like, whatever was on at the same time was just as bad as that was, and you were just kind of like, all right, I'll go back.
Yeah, right.
Because I know what's coming on at 9:00, and I'm just like, I'm going to be all fired up for that. So.
I've committed to this. I've committed to the Shirt Tales. I'm standing on, but they were similar to the Care Bears because the Care Bears had the little the gimmicks on their bellies, and they would do the stare.
Except they were all bears.
They were all bears.
Shirt Tales represented the whole forest.
And there definitely was a raccoon that I remember on there. I guess if they did that today, and they're
or as the rest of those English speaking world likes to call them, a raccoon.
Anyway,
they're not a recluse.
Raccoon. It's a raccoon.
Raccoon. It's a recurring coon.
Yeah. What's a raccoon? Okay, they're not wolves. They're wolves. So anyway, like I guess today, if they had the Shirt Tales, like, and their emotion was on the front of their shirt, eventually in one episode they would be like, "Oh, look, look, I'm gaslit today."
Yeah. Or
triggered.
Or there'd be a bunch of like animals, and one of them would be named Adam. And he'd like, I don't want to sing today.
Yeah.
But that's your deal. You're a good singer. Yeah, but I'm depressed. I don't want to sing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I just want to 10 bar at the Viper Room.
Yeah, exactly. Where's my real friends? Johnny Depp. All right, so that's your 8:30 slot. I will so I'm gonna a little spin because I did have Scooby-Doo written down for my 8:30 slot. But I tend to also remember that in that 8:30 slot, more in the summer months, you would get a little bit of the Laugh Olympics.
Wow.
Which was
I don't remember the Laugh Olympics.
So the Laugh Olympics was an amalgamation of Hanna-Barbera characters through the years.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So you had the Yogi Yahoos, were competing in competition against the Scooby Doobies.
Oh, yes, I do remember this.
And the Really Rottens.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just called. I didn't know it was called the Laugh Olympics. I thought it was just I thought it was the Hanna-Barbera All Stars or something.
No. And I think it was called. I think it would have originally it was titled.
Was it the Battle of the Hanna-Barbera Stars?
Yeah, it was basically
Battle of the Networks.
It was a combination of their love for the Olympics. The '76 Olympics was over like Rover, so it was like Olympic nostalgia. It was Battle of the Network Stars. It was all of that. Like, let's just draw everybody together and get them involved. I think it was called like Yogi's Laugh Olympics because it was tied with Yogi, very much tied with Yogi. And they had the bad guys, the Really Rottens. They would cheat a lot to win the competitions if it came down to it. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot. Again, you had a lot of characters. Snagglepuss was one of the commentators, and they were dressed like the 70s. The ABC Wide World of Sports team, yellow sports coats, thin microphones, and it would be what's his name, Snagglepuss, interviewing or doing commentary. It's a Murgatroyd and all of the other, look at this. Oh, he's really being a stooge. And
having the Betsy.
And Wally Gator was there. He was sometimes on commentary. A lot of, again, it's just a lot of like antics galore tied in with sporting events, like these makeshift, like you could call them sporting events. You could call them like field day events because they would do like sack races or they would do like a canoe or whatever. A lot of fun. Combined a lot of the cartoons that were on in the 70s and 80s and some stuff that was back from the 60s too. So that's I'm slotting that in at my 8:30 time. So let's progress to 9 o'clock. I'm going to go with Muppet Babies at 9 o'clock.
I also had the Muppet Babies.
Yes. And Muppet Babies was originally conceived as a spin-off of the very brief scene in Muppets Take Manhattan where they have the musical number and Miss Piggy is daydreaming about having babies of her own that are weirdly just her and Kermit and their friends, not like and thank God she imagined it this way and not just a smashed together like pig and frog, like scientific sex baby. So thank you to Miss Piggy and her very palatable. Why do I have to do that?
Come on, it's Henson.
Right.
You don't put your weirdo fantasy thing.
It's not a fantasy thing. What I'm saying is, realistically, if she was going to have that daydream,
look, the Muppet Babies were awesome. They were a cartoon version. They were a cartoon version of the Muppets as babies in an orphanage or whatever, the daycare center type place.
Yes.
My only critique had same humor, same. A lot of Star Wars references. There were a lot of times where they would open up the door
and other movies too. Vader, like
or
westerns,
or the TIE fighter would be coming at them or whatever it was. Loved it. Yeah. My only critique of the Muppet was the emphasis and the pushing forward of the Skeeter character,
who was created strictly for that.
Yeah. It was like Scooter's, the female version of Scooter was Skeeter.
Yeah.
She wasn't really a thing, but they made it into a thing, and she was kind of like showcased a lot more predominantly, and I found her a little annoying. And I would sit there and say, in my mind, I would sit there and say, she's not a real Muppet. Why are we focusing on this one?
I like your little critical boy mind was taking over. Like you refuse to deal with this person that was retconned into your Muppet universe. It's like, wait a second, why wasn't Janice part of this?
It took me a little while to warm up to Fraggle Rock. So,
well, that's for another.
And So I'm just kind of where my mindset was as a kid. It was like, these aren't Muppets. And then, after a while, it's like,
they were clearly Muppets.
No, but they weren't the Muppets. Like they were
All right.
So in my mind, I was like, eh. And then after a while, I was like, okay, these things are cool. I like this show.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. I'm glad you came around.
But I never came around to Skeeter.
Muppet Babies did kick ass.
The Muppet Babies was awesome. It was the only other thing that was kind of like, it had a little bit of that Charlie Brown where like the lady that was in charge of them, you just saw her feet and her legs. Yeah. You never really saw her.
She always wore those dumb
socks.
You heard
her voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Nanny.
it was definitely it was a make sure your ass was at the TV at 9 a.m.
Okay. Let me explain Skeeter to you real fast, because I think you're missing what made Skeeter fun and unique. First of all, you need some lady energy in there. Janice was too much of a pervert, and you can't imagine a baby Janice. So it was there wasn't a lot of women representation when it came to the Muppet the original Muppet cast.
They're Muppets. They're not real things. It's not like.
So you can invent a Muppet. She was like a tomboy. She would she would get him up. She would. All right, then you didn't like her. But I'm just saying, like, this was the representation for like little girls that wanted to climb trees. You had Skeeter. That was you looked up to Skeeter because she was in a tree.
Here's my cartoon equivalent.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Charlie Brown Thanksgiving episode.
Right.
At some point, don't you just want to smack Peppermint Patty and be like, bitch, I'm 8 years old. I'm doing the best version of Thanksgiving dinner that an 8-year-old can do.
Yeah.
Like
we're having
popcorn, jelly beans, and toast. Like, fucking eat it or go home.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And stop calling me Chuck.
Yeah. Seriously. I am Charlie Brown.
Put
full name
on. It's Thanksgiving and you're wearing flip-flops.
Yeah.
And
seriously.
shorts and sandals.
Yeah.
Go home, put some pants on and some shoes, and stop calling me Chuck.
Yeah. Seriously. Right.
So I feel the same way about Skeeter. At some point, it's just kind of like, all right, you're a secondary character. Go back and blend in the background.
Wow. Okay. All right. My big disappointment with that show was always that it was just the same Muppets all the time. I could have used like, a little bit of New Zealand, or like a Swedish Chef would have been fun to like do a baby Swedish Chef. Why wasn't he there?
You want Electric Mayhem before they learn how to play their
seriously, right? That's I want Doc Teeth showing. Although Dr. Teeth is it's literally like that's the most adult Muppet there is. And the rest of the guys in Electric Mayhem,
is the most, like, that dude's spaced out on drugs all the time. I think he's pretty adult.
Yeah. All right, maybe not Electric Mayhem.
I don't think you want Zoot introducing the H to the Muppet Babies.
So that's our 9:00 hour. Who do you have at the 9:30 slot?
I have the Smurfs.
Oh, okay.
Which were NBC
staple.
They were on. That was like, that represented the 80s. Like, I can't remember a time waking up on Saturday morning and watching cartoons and not having the Smurfs on.
Yeah. Created by Hallmark, I feel like that's a greeting card gimmick.
Oh, was it?
I believe that they were just, or maybe it's maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I feel like
maybe you're thinking of Ziggy.
Ziggy's a douche. No, Ziggy was in he was in the Funny Papers. He was in the Sunday comics, but I think the Smurfs were like,
it might have been.
I think they were figurines that were basically for decorations. Then they were on cards, and then it was like, hey, let's make this a show. If somebody knows the exact lineage of the Smurfs, please comment below. Find us on socials.
You know why I always gave Smurfs credit?
Mm-hmm.
Same reason why I'm knocking the Muppet Babies. They had to create. Dude, there was 100 Smurfs that lived in that village. One of them was a chick. They never created a second. Yeah. They didn't. They were like, Smurfette is enough female energy for this cartoon. We got 1,000 dudes. that we can kind of like, we don't have to, and not every time like they have to be in the episode. Like sometimes you saw Brainy Smurf, sometimes you didn't. Sometimes it was the chef, the brawny Smurf,
Cookies.
the guy with the tattoo.
Yeah, the tattoo, yeah. Who was this?
Or as I used to like to call him Tough Guy Smurf.
Tough guy. Who was his tattoo artist? Was there a tattoo artist Smurf as well? Or do you think he did that prison style? Like,
was there a
Jailhouse
French Smurf? Because I feel like the French Smurf would have been the tattoo artist.
no, he would have been a pervert. Because we were supposed to believe back in those days that French were perverts. Pepe Le Pew. Papa Smurf was in charge of everybody.
That's why he got the red hat and the red pants, the red tights.
He got to dress different. Yeah, his gear was different than everybody else. And then Smurf Lady would get in trouble. Gargamel, Azrael, up to their no good. Were they trying to eat the Smurfs or figure out
trying
energy?
to cook it? There was some sort of way that if you cooked the Smurfs, they would turn into gold.
Oh, all right. So it was more like a boiling thing. He didn't want to eat them. He just wanted to boil them.
No, he was trying to turn them into the gold. That was the whole thing.
I gotcha.
But they were like, if they were in the village, they were like invisible. You had to get them when they were outside the Smurf village. That was the whole thing. That's why they were always waiting for them and trying to trap them.
That's a Fraggle Rock thing. If you're in the rock, you're cool. But if you have to go outside to get your mail at the scientist's apartment, a dog's going to find you. Or if you have to go to talk to the trash heap, the Gorgs are going to see you in the yard. And they're going to pick you like a radish. But they wanted to eat Fraggles. They were fucking hungry, those guys. Anyway, I thought he was hungry for Smurf blood.
No, they could turn them into gold. And they lived in mushrooms that were apparently invisible to humans and cats. I
got a feeling that the mushrooms are the source of all of this. I think Gargamel, the lonely man with just the cat, I think he probably took a few of those mushrooms and he was like, these guys can be gold for me. And was basically like, he's running around in his yard, like imagining there's little blue things running in his yard. This is all happening in Gargamel's like drug-addled brain. He's shroomed out of his gourd, right? And he's like, but if I put them in, if I melt them down, they become gold. High as a kite.
I think Gargamel's more, from the looks of him, I would say he was a meth addict. Fucked up teeth.
Okay, all right.
Had like the bruises and shit on his face. Kind of losing his hair.
That's a good point. Red shoes.
More meth than mushroom.
Yeah,
I think, in my opinion.
Okay, all right.
But this is for another episode.
Yeah.
What drugs were the cartoons?
What did they represent? I at 9:30 would have been watching the Pac-Man cartoon.
Wow.
Because this is the height of like video game mania for me, right?
You're saying you had Pac-Man fever?
I had Pac-Man fever. Driving me crazy. Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man, Baby Pac-Man, hanging out in their house. They had a dog.
The thing is Mrs. Pac-Man has a bow in her head.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
That's how you could tell. She had the bow in the cartoon as well. Ghosts always up to no good, plot and stuff. But there would be some episodes where you didn't have to deal with the ghosts. It's just Pac-Man like trying to build like an extension on his house. And he's trying
to get around getting city permits.
It's just his carpentry skills are weird because he's a circle. But the feet were prominently used. So yeah, that was kind of the only thing where I was like, this doesn't seem like real Pac-Man. Real Pac-Man, no feet. This Pac-Man on the cartoon, feet and punching hands. But it was, again, it's just sort of like, I liked video games. It's silly fun. This Pac-Man cartoon it bopped around. Like, so sometimes it would be 9:30, sometimes it would be like 11 o'clock. Like it ran for a while. I think it was like a 3 or 4 season run for old Pac-Man. But ABC had a lot of weird cartoons at that time too. Like you've got a Laverne and Shirley cartoon. You've got a Fonzie cartoon.
I believe they also tried a Q*bert cartoon.
CBS had a Cuber cartoon. Yeah.
Was it CBS or
Yeah.
ABC? I thought it was ABC.
No, that was CBS. Yeah.
There was a thing of trying to turn all Atari games into cartoons.
It was easy to license.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, Pac-Man was, again, for a half hour, I wasn't really like, my sister probably would have been watching the Smurfs. And then it's like, she's probably watching the Smurfs. And then like at the commercial, it's like, well, let's see what Pac-Man's doing. Oh, he's building an extension on his house. What a great episode. I don't know why I'm transfixed on this. And there probably was never an episode where he was building an extension on his house. I'm just thinking about him doing garage work. I hope
you're just thinking of Pac-Man with actual arms and the white glove hands.
Right. Yes.
Just like, I want to build I have arms now. I'm not just going to eat these droplets.
This isn't just a hoverfest like my normal job, which is just eating pellets and, fighting those or getting ready to fight the ghost and run from them. It is now I've got articulating hands and feet. I better get to work.
Did Pac-Man originate I Ain't Afraid of No Ghosts? Was that his thing?
No. He was afraid of ghosts.
Oh, or was that Ray Parker Jr.?
Unless they were blue. And then it's like, now they're food. And then they just become eyes. All right, so Pac-Man, I hope we're on the same page. 10 o'clock. Let's turn on CBS. Let's a wonderful, wonderful, easy to watch half hour of programming. Pee-wee's Playhouse.
That was much like Muppet Babies. Pee-wee's Playhouse was that was a drop everything. And I don't care if anybody's outside playing already. I'm staying inside and watching Pee-wee's Playhouse. That was must see TV, as they like to say. It was channel 2, so it wasn't really must see TV.
Yes. Theme song performed by.
I thought it was Pee Wee Herman singing it.
Cyndi Lauper.
Really?
There's your wrinkle. There's your brain wrinkle for you. Cyndi Lauper. Yep. A lot of like walk-on stars that became, I think, Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne?
Fishburne. He was involved. I think
Jimmy King of Car.
No, I don't think
he was Larry the cowboy or cowboy guy.
Yes, he was right. You had Jimmy Smits played a recurring character.
Yeah.
On that.
Of course, the glue.
He wasn't part of the he had done everything Pee-wee up until the Playhouse.
He wasn't on the Playhouse?
No, Captain Carl. I
thought Captain Carl was on the Playhouse.
I think they you're thinking of the 83 special that led to Pee-wee Mania.
I thought he was on the actual regular special.
They had a dispute, and I think he helped
him. He held out.
He
didn't want the CBS money.
He didn't get credited for Pee-wee's Big Adventure as a writer. And they started to write Pee-wee's Playhouse because that was the end game and the goal for Paul Reubens was to do Pee-wee's Playhouse. And I think he started to get ideas, and Reubens was like, I'm doing this without you because we had this falling out. He held kind of a grudge that
I got a chair that sings and dance. I don't need you.
Yeah. But yeah, there was so many different unique characters that were part of Pee-wee's Playhouse that you hadn't seen in the Pee-wee world because they really made it very kid friendly. So Cherry was more of a
cartoons.
There were cartoons in the original one, but you had Penny.
No, I'm just saying the king of cartoons.
The king of cartoons, right? Yeah.
The girl that was his driver and that played the bugle. Was she somewhat famous, or did she just look like a lot of people in the 80s? Remember, she would come in and introduce him, but she would always she would play the trumpet, and then say, "Ladies and gentlemen, the king," and then the king would walk in with the camp and show the cartoon.
Great question. Don't know. Probably because a lot of people were they were from Groundlings or they were from LA at the time, and they pitched in. But it was so unique and different. It wasn't a cartoon necessarily. It was this little in the middle of your morning, here's this sort of variety show, sketch show that's loud. It's chaotic. You're still getting taught lessons because, you know, you have to. And it's one of the, like, Pee Wee Herman is one of the most important, like, cultural figures of the 80s. And that's not hyperbole. This dude was everywhere. And he was made for, like, he was made for an adult audience, but he pivoted that to what he really wanted to do, which was have a kids show and teach kids lessons.
How many other, like, times in movies or TV shows was there always a character who there was a kid or something who did the Pee Wee Herman voice?
Yeah. So many.
Did you participate in the word of the day?
There was, or whatever the word of the day was. It was
because that was a thing that, like, Monday morning when you went to school,
they would do a
we
word of the day.
We continued whatever the word of the day was. When somebody said it, everybody screamed.
All right. No, I don't
so
believe
it was one of those things
but...
where, like, you better be at 10 a.m. on watching TV on Saturday because you're not going to know what's going on in school when you get there.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, next time you catch a clip of it online, Cyndi Lauper singing that theme song.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought I knew there was somebody singing it, but he spliced because he used to kind of interject, right?
Wake up. Yeah.
Yeah. And then by Cherry.
Right. Yeah.
There you go. That's my Pee Wee. At 48 years old. That's my Pee Wee.
Good. What do you have at the 10:30 time slot?
So I don't I threw this one in there. I think when me and you were talking about it, I think it was a Disney Channel cartoon that eventually got picked up. I think it was Channel 7 that used to play it, and then eventually, years later, it became like a Monday. I think we said it was on Channel 11.
Syndicated. Yeah.
But that's the DuckTales.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what day it was on, I loved that show. I was so when I eventually got older and as an adult and got a job in the bank, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna teach you, like, we're gonna bring you into the vault."
You thought it was coins,
and I thought I was going to be jumping off a diving board into a big thing of gold coins. And when I saw what a vault in a bank looked like, I was so disappointed.
You should be. Yeah. Well, also, like, you would have broken your neck if you dove into a pit of coins. Like, that's a dangerous undertaking.
I'm cannonballing it, so I would have just hurt my leg.
Yeah. Your knees would have been cut up. But no, I see. I remember it more when it was in syndication, and there was always something going on. It was adventure. It was great themes. Talk about, like, all-time theme songs.
Oh yeah,
that DuckTales theme song. It's an earworm, and they had a video game. They did a Nintendo video game for it that had, like, a digital version of that theme song that, like, played through the whole thing. Stuck in my head for months. Yep. I mean, it was a fun show. It had again, it's the offshoot of those Disney characters, and then, like, Donald would show up randomly, and it's like, why is he the only one that does not speak perfect English and has, like, a voice when everybody else in his family can speak perfect English?
Well, there's always, I mean, there are a lot of rednecks that speak very good English, and then you have that one that just kind of talks like Larry Cable Guy or something.
Okay, all right. So, well, all right. So that's a good.
There's always one in the family. Donald's that one.
Donald Duck is the one that's is a mush mouth.
Although I will have to say there were
bit of a hothead too.
I get a little annoyed by Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah, they were scamps.
I think Scrooge every once in a while just needed to take his top hat and smack them.
And just bop them a bit.
Get them. They needed to get in line.
Good move. All right.
So
fair play.
So what's your 10:30?
10:30. I am rocking out with Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. Alvin and the Chipmunks. Much like DuckTales, did eventually make it to syndication, but I'm thinking of the NBC version that was on Saturday mornings, where they are going for gold, trying to be like rock stars, kind of like they were really kicked up a notch for the 80s. And they're playing amphitheaters, they're making music videos, they're modernizing everything. You had a little bit of like licensed music that was thrown in there. It's not just Witch Doctor and the Christmas song every fucking episode. But you also got like, this is where like their backstories sort of tied together. You learn more about like Alvin is the rambunctious one, Simon is the smart one, Theodore is the sort of like chubby slovenly one. Dave just can't keep his head above water. And then you have Chipettes and other elements that are in there, which again, it's just sort of like diluted off. But it was still like, again, it's a half hour of chaotic fun with some music in there. And that was a big deal for NBC. Like they, I remember like when like the fall lineup of like cartoons would come out and they would be like debuting this fall, it's the Alvin and the Chipmunks cartoon. And, they were super psyched to like, get them out there. If there was a version of that was around in the 50s or 60s, it was probably just like a promotional clip that went along with the novelty records. But this was like fully formed versions with stories and antics and a lot of fun and an easy way to spend.
Really bad for Seville.
Dave?
Yeah, I mean, he's a songwriter. He's got to write for Chipmunks.
Yeah.
Then, like every so often, he'd bring a dame home.
Oh, he wasn't.
Chipmunks, and the Chipmunks would always screw up his shit.
No,
and she would wind up, screaming, leaving the house.
Yeah.
It's like, dude can't get laid, and he's a songwriter, and he's writing for Chipmunks. Like,
hose and chipmunk. Can't pull hose when you got chipmunks under your watchful eye.
And then they like somewhere along the line there was the origin story, the origin episode.
Yeah,
where like Seville could have just let them get eat by like a dog or something like that.
Turn the other cheek. Oh shit, they're wearing clothes.
and he could have been like writing songs for like real artists, and he could have been getting laid.
Commercials.
No, he's writing. He's writing songs for a chipmunk, and every time he brings a dame home, they gotta like squirt her with ketchup and mustard and other shit and ruin his date.
Just call him Alvin and the Cock Blockers.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have went over very well.
Well, I mean,
Alvin and the Sea Blockers.
3 little assholes.
Yeah. No, that A on his shirt that's asshole. Not for Alvin. He's the big asshole.
Capital asshole. All right. Tell me what's happening on your TV at 11 o'clock. We're winding down our morning, by the way.
So, I think traditionally, and you had the grid. Like, I kind of felt like when you got to like the 11 o'clock. The cartoons kind of stopped a little bit, but there was like an influx of like kids programming, but they were like real shows, like real people, I should say.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, and it could be picked apart. It was cheesy. Way too long, like. But the Adventures of Marshall, Will, and Holly, the land of the lost.
Oh, Land of the Lost. Okay.
Like, yeah, Chaka was like, it was not a great, not like a great side character, and the lizard people were kind of like, they were creepy, but like they didn't move very fast, and I don't know why it was such a big deal to get away from them and stuff, but like, but. I don't know what it was. There was something about that damn. I think I'm a sucker for a good like intro song. If you got a good intro song, then I'm probably gonna watch the rest of the episode.
I feel like you get lured in by music.
I did not get sucked in by the gum. I would listen to the Gummy Bears theme song, but I knew the rest of that cartoon was crap.
I don't need food. I don't need food dominating this.
But Land of the Lost, like so the Marshall, Will, and Holly were in a raft. They would go down. They go down a waterfall and end up in like prehistoric, some sort of like weird prehistoric times.
Right. Right. Cave
there's a
people
dinosaur.
And,
There's cave people. There's like a dinosaur that randomly, like, or T-Rex that randomly every once in a while they kind of see and hear, and they have to run away from it.
Bad special effects.
The main thing, it was like the same cave that had like some lit up rocks that like was supposedly magical, and it was just like, even at a young age, I knew it was cheesy, but
yeah,
I'm gonna watch it. And
you're in,
and it's just gonna be like, Will's gonna get all frustrated that they're still in this land, like, and the father's gotta calm him down. And it's just like, I get it. You're a teenager, and there's one girl here. Your choices are either banging Chaka, which is weird because we don't know what it is, and the other girl here is your sister. Yeah, and this is 11 o'clock on. Was that a Channel
ABC.
7 or 8?
It was an ABC.
It was ABC ain't gonna. They're not going for incest at 11 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday. So
it's weird that your brain went to like horny rather than like, let's get out of this and survive this.
Well, you could just tell that he was like, it wasn't so much that they were in the land of the lost, but that he's a teenager and he's in the land of no women.
He's in hell.
Sister.
He's in for him. He's in hell.
So yeah, land of the lost at 11 a.m. Right. That would have been my Chaka and the weird lizard people. Okay. The bad special effects.
You're there
Marshall,
for
Will, and Holly.
Sid and Marty Krofft, right?
Is that one of theirs? Yeah,
that's one of theirs. I'm going to more highbrow. With my 11 o'clock. I'm going for the whimsical, not whimsical, the witty and the sarcastic comedy of Garfield and Friends.
Low-key. Another one that just tortured the human in that show.
Yeah, John Arbuckle.
John should have took that cat to the fucking vet years ago. Like, I'd just been like,
listen, I'm gonna stand behind this. I don't think Garfield's the problem.
No,
I think Odie's an undisciplined. He's an undisciplined. He's a real dumb dog. He's a real dumb dog. Yeah. He could do stupid things. And then Garfield would be like, no, Odie, you go in that room. And then that's where John's trying to like have a date. And then there's Odie like jumping in the middle of things. John Arbuckle, just a sort of sad sack.
All right, fine. You should have just took both animals and just been like, dropped them off at the ASPCA.
Yeah.
And said, as much as I love having a companion, they're not... I'm not going all out making like a turkey dinner and all this stuff for this dog and this cat to keep ruining my dates.
I haven't had a good lasagna in 6 years because I've had this cat.
when was John and Dave going to learn, like, don't bring your girlfriend home to me. Like,
go to the road game. Please, guys. Think of yourself.
No, sorry, we can't go back to my house. I got a bunch of asshole chipmunks, or I got a fucking asshole cat who uses this dumbass dog.
Right. Who acts annoyed by him, but then turns him into a weapon when need be. The second that a woman shows up on my doorstep.
We can't go back to my place. They're a pain in the ass, but somehow I'm still attached to them, and I don't want to send them over the Rainbow Bridge just yet.
Arbuckle just...
But if we get serious... They're gone.
They're gone. Like the second you say, we're going steady. I am up for adoption. We're going by local.
We get me and you got a third date. These animals are gone. Although Seville, it would have been tough because I think the chipmunks were kind of pulling in a lot of money.
They were fast. Exactly. There's the difference. That's a gravy train that David Seville did not want to get off of.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, chipmunks go in pockets, and he can't have a road game because those three would be like getting in his pockets, or we're sneaking into the back of his car.
God, can you imagine going to the art center and being like, are those fucking chipmunks?
Am I paying for chipmunks to sing to me?
Great. I paid to watch the video screen because I can't see these chipmunks. I'm only in the 300s. I'm not even on the lawn, and I can see these chipmunks. Binoculars. But the friends in Garfield and Friends that would show up in the second 15 minutes were like, there was some sort of like, I think they were based on other like comic strip
cartoons. So I think there was some like Wise Ass Lamb, and some other like animal rigmarole that would do like little bits and interstitial stuff. Speaking of interstitial stuff, before we get to the end of our lineups, Schoolhouse Rock, the phenomenon that was that, like for ABC, that would pop up like throughout the morning.
Yes.
Whenever there was like a little bit of like, not dead air, but like, you needed to buy like 3 minutes, like interjection would come on and you would hear that and you would learn about the Bill of Rights before the next show started. Or there would be those bumper commercials where it's that a hanker for a hunka, and that guy is like telling you to eat cheese for like for like an afternoon snack.
And NBC's was the more you know.
Well, they had the stars of the NBC universe that would come. Nell Carter would tell you about like don't bully, or
Joey
Lawrence, or the grandpa from not the grandpa, the old man from Punky Brewster.
Captain Lassard.
Commandant Lassard would.
Commandant Lassard, whatever. Conrad, or what the fuck, whatever his name was. Yeah, he would show up and.
Oh, Punky. And, or Mr. T would be like, no, fool, you got to stay in school, or don't do drugs, or stuff like that. And it's like, they tell you the little lesson. Star goes over, more you know.
The one that was always very complicated that I thought was a bad message was the NBC would have the one with Gordon Jump telling you to go to the bike shop.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, and it's weird.
Buy more bikes. Like how many bikes do I need? Why do I have to go to the bike shop?
Because it had the full address of the bike shop in the promo.
And he would always tell me to come after hours. Like,
why is he saying don't tell the cops? I thought the cops were our friends.
Weird ass cartoons, man.
Do you like ice cream and rum?
Yes. You like Do you like rockets?
Well, yeah. That guy was kidnapping as well. Gary Coleman had a cartoon as well, by the way. It was the only property.
I do remember that.
It was the only NBC property that he wasn't kidnapped in.
Yes. Wasn't that where he was like an angel, right?
He was an angel, right? So he had been kidnapped, murdered, and then like haunted little boys and girls, or saved their souls. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
I prefer him living on a train.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let me get the Gary Coleman who managed the San Diego Padres in that one movie with Bob Guillaume,
and where and have him face the kid that the Gary Coleman managed Padres meet the Little Big League Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, exactly. Take that kid down a notch.
The kid manager, all World Series.
Mm. All right, 11:30.
Hey, speaking of baseball, I went. This was a great show. It fluctuated at times. During the baseball season, I think it used to be like a 12 or 12:30 type of show, but then they would just throw it on whenever they need it to fill like a half hour or so. I'm going to use it as my 11:30. The Baseball Bunch. Great. I loved it.
It's a great one.
It was so good that I forgave the kids for wearing jeans to baseball practice.
That's, listen, that's going to be the one thing that I was going to point out is the jeans. The Baseball Bunch jersey is awesome. I got to find it, and I need it. I need to own it. But yeah, the playing practice, these are all practices. These weren't regular games they were in. These are practices, so maybe I can forgive that. During the game, they probably wore their baseball pants. You don't need to be... Listen, scuff up your jeans, get them all muddy during practice week, but you keep your baseball pants for Saturday game that you're going to play, the game of the week, so to speak.
And very disappointed that it was... Baseball Bunch, I believe, was late 70s into the 80s, right?
80. It started in 1980 or 81.
Maybe even
82. No, 82, I think it started.
At no point, none of those kids could say crud.
You were asking too much. These were all nice kids. They were all super nice.
Yeah, but everybody gets upset when they boot a ball.
But all right, so they would tell you, oh, I got upset like booting my ball, I might throw my glove on the ground, and then blah blah blah. Like Ozzie Smith would come and be like,
throwing the glove on the ground was always gonna, like, if you just kind of like, crud, like that's not. You could say it low enough that the coach ain't gonna hear you. But you're throwing your glove on the ground. That's
a temper tantrum.
You're running a lap.
But this is the lesson. You might have Bench might have said, "Hey, run that lap," but then like Ozzie Smith would teleport in and he'd be like, "Let me show you how to make that play the right way, and you won't have to throw your glove and run laps."
Or Keith Hernandez could be sitting there smoking a heater, going,
"Get in front of it. Get in front of it."
Hey, is your mom seeing anybody?
Yeah. Well, then
dad is traveling salesman by any chance?
Oh, you say they're having marital problems. Well, who's driving you home later after the bunch is over? Get out of here, Johnny. Get out of here, Steve Garvey. I reclaimed dibsies. This is the first baseman episode, Steve. You come back in 2 weeks when we have to, like, seeing eye single.
Lance Parrish, like, you have a chance. You have the worst 80s mustache.
Yeah. Gary Carter, Montreal Expos, Gary Carter would show up and, like, just be like, where's the camera? Where's the camera? Hey! How did Bench get this? Look at how charismatic I am. A lot of fun. Again, it's another show that I could, like, even if they had like a bum baseball player, it would still be like, this is so watchable. Like,
if I ever run into Rob Manfred,
bring that back.
Baseball,
yeah.
There's got to be somebody, like a retired ball player, who's close enough that like the kids would like. There's got to be somebody, and then here. You can learn how to, I don't know, strike out from. I don't know, like, hey, this week, Shohei Ohtani hits a home run and teaches you how to steal a base, and you get to learn how to bet on FanDuel and blame it on your interpreter.
Right? Yeah. Or, here's here's L.A. Dodgers pitcher. Clayton Kershaw, who pitched for a very long time, he's going to teach you about pitch counts. How it's not important when you're a real young kid, but when you're an adult, it becomes very important for a long career.
Kid, today's lesson is deferred money.
Pitch to 5. Nobody cares about wins.
This week's special guest is Bobby Bonilla. Bobby, tell him how you turned $5 million into a lifetime of salary.
Signed for a stupid organization. Bye, kids. And they have 20 minutes to kill.
Don't get drafted by Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Enjoy your career.
Yeah. All right. My 11:30. I'm closing my morning out with Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. Music. We're learning with the gang. Lessons galore. Ghetto politics. A pre-charges Bill Cosby, popping in there, doing as many voices as he could. Here's the misconception. I love when somebody brings up Fat Albert and they're like, oh yeah, I remember Mushmouth, and like he had that pink gum on his head. No, that's Dumb Donald. Mushmouth was the guy who had his teeth sticking out of his face, who actually went. So don't come at me with like Mushmouth was the guy with the gum over his head. That was goddamn Dumb Donald. And Dumb Donald was part of like Cosby's like stand-up comedy stuff too. So let's not retcon that we knew what everything was.
Man.
Junkyard Gang was great.
Cosby
they had great songs.
Man, Cosby put something in your drink or something?
No, I would have gone back to sleep.
Put the bills in the people.
But were you under the impression?
Fat Albert was awesome.
It was awesome, but like, did you get tricked into thinking that like Dumb Donald, like that Mushmouth was the guy with the gum over his head, or did you know who Mushmouth was?
What do you mean the gum over his head?
One of the characters.
I thought that was like a shower curtain or a shower cap.
That
put
was,
over
it was
his
Dumb
head.
Donald. It was gum.
Over the whole head?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like.
And then he had like a green sweater and purple pants.
I thought that was the guy that had the holes cut out, right?
Oh, maybe it was a knit cap.
I thought it was like an old style, like the women used to put the thing like the shower curtain.
Shower cap.
I thought it was
shower cap.
Or shower cap. I thought it was a shower cap that he had that he cut the holes out, the eyes out of.
Part of me, when I was a kid, I thought it was gum. And he's so dumb he can't get gum off of his head, so he just cut eye holes out of it. That's a better story. That has better lore than shower cap dragged over your head. Dumb Donald's so dumb that he got gum and he had to pluck, and he, to make do, he plucked.
Not to be mean, but I'm thinking since it's kind of like a ghetto thing, like that was kind of like the idea with that these were street kids.
Yeah.
So
well, they were.
So
he might have a shower cap with eyes cut.
No, I knew that. I knew that. No, there's one guy who had giant teeth, and he was the one that kind of did the and then the other guy had the thing over his head. He was dumb, but you could actually understand what he was saying.
Yes, you could. Yeah,
talking.
He was an idiot, but
you could. They were two different people.
Yes.
Yeah, I always just thought it was always really cool when they would kind of go back and forth between the cartoon and then Cosby, like in the like the junk area or whatever, that like the studio thing that they had. That used to kind of blow my mind as a kid.
Yes. And then they would do a little picture pages, Mortimer Ichabod Crane or Mortimer Ichabod Marker. That was also like part of like Electric Company or like Sesame Street, like, or I should say Nickelodeon, like had those thrown in there, but they started with
another great Saturday morning cartoon that had a great theme song.
Yeah, killer theme song. And they would have like certain episodes would be based around them writing a new song, and then at the end of it, you heard that new song, and you're like, "This is a bop."
Yes.
Cosby Kids do it again.
Speaking of, was the Jackson 5 cartoon a Saturday morning cartoon that got syndicated?
Yeah, but it wasn't. It lasted for like 1 or 2 seasons. It was like early 70s. This was like when the Jacksons were like hot.
Yeah.
That got moved, so we would have seen it during the week on like the USA Cartoon Express, or like in the morning they would have that on like not every day, but it would be in rotation.
I knew it wasn't on very long because it would be like it didn't take very long till you saw an episode you already saw.
Yeah,
because it was only on for like a year or two or so. But
that would have been a
because there were a ton of like shit that they put on for a year, and then just said, "Screw it, we're gonna keep on making cartoons of this, but we're gonna put it on something else."
Right. I would be, before we close out the episode, I would be remiss to, just as a retcon of my own. Once I was about 12 years old, I'm not watching Pee-wee's Playhouse or Alvin and the Chipmunks or Garfield and Friends or Fat Albert. Like from 10 o'clock until noon, I am watching, because at this point there might be multiple televisions in the house, so my sister can watch cartoons. I'm watching pro wrestling for 2 straight hours.
Because we got to get away from this imaginary, made up kid stuff, and we got to go to adult stuff.
At 10 in the morning, I want to see one of my favorite characters, the Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff, or Dusty Rhodes. And then at 11 o'clock, I'm going to put on WWF, and I'm going to see what Bret the Hitman Hart is up to, or somebody like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Now, would you watch the WWF cartoon?
A little bit. I actually that was another one where it lasted only 2 seasons, and people think like it was on forever. It wasn't, and because little, little me when I was, I guess, when did that come on? Like, I guess I was like 11. I might have been 11 or 12 by that time. So I had been starting to watch wrestling when the cartoon started. And little smarky Mike Madden is smart to the wrestling business a little bit. And they've got Jimmy Superfly Snuka in the cartoon. And I'm like, he's not even in their territory. Like, he's on the AWA now. Like, why is Jimmy Snuka still in these episodes? Not that he's a murderer or anything, but like, he's not on their show anymore. Like, why is he there? You know, or there would be like somebody else that like there was in that animated gang. It's like, that guy doesn't even wrestle for them anymore. And I'd be mad. Like an idiot, I'd be mad.
You're the guy that goes to the Yacht Rock review show and say, this song is not yacht.
I am absolutely. That's why I don't go to those shows. I'm a stickler for the rules. FTR, follow the rules. But also, like, I think by the time that the cartoon came out, I was already sick of Hogan. And I was like, can we have other bad guys like in this cartoon that are better than Hulk Hogan?
I feel like the cartoon was a definite, like, I don't want to say spin-off or like we had, I remember there being a lot of Captain Lou Albano. And, and I think it had, I think there was like a big thing from like the Cyndi Lauper video and all that crap. Like, okay, how else can we market this and capitalize? Oh, let's make a cartoon out of it.
It was Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling for a reason. And they had they had little skits from the wrestlers, like just like anything else, like in between like one episode and another episode, or like a bumper before they went to commercial, they would have like a Mean Gene skit, or they would have something like with Hillbilly Jim would be like singing to a pig or something. So it's like there was cutesy like kid type stuff.
I do remember Bobby the Brain Heenan cartoon always being like the center of whatever. He was always the one causing a lot of the trouble for the quote unquote good guys.
Well, that would have been Piper more than Heenan.
I remember a lot of.
I don't think Heenan made. I don't think.
He was the old guy with the cane, right?
That's Mr. Fuji.
No, white guy.
That's Fred Blassie.
Maybe a Fred Blatt. Then maybe it was Fred Blatt. I don't know. They centered hit. There was a lot of like him events. Captain Lou.
Okay, all right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I think Heenan was on there briefly, but not a main thing. I'd have to look that up. But yeah, that's our take. That's our look at Saturday morning. Anytime after 12, it's just like the day now has to start. Go get dressed. We have to go to the stores. Go get dressed. You have a baseball game at 12:30 somewhere, or there's a yard full of leaves that needs to be raked terribly by myself and my brother. So chores started. Some chores started at that time, but yeah, I mean, it was always like there was enough stuff to pack into your morning where you were like, all right, I don't need to sit by the television anymore for the rest of the day. Like, I'm good. Let me go outside and do something. So covered that.
As much in life, eventually you have to go outside.
Yeah. But this is again, this is a good exercise. I like building our lineups and our best case scenarios of what we would have watched. Shirt Tails is that's one I gotta do more research on Shirt Tails. See what
check out the theme song. Okay, it's a banger.
Well, of course, yeah. That's right after I listened to the DuckTales theme song, because that is now stuck in my head. That's it's chopped and granulated into my veins.
So is the actual song, or is it the animated video game?
Oh, both. Yeah, both. Yeah. Oh, it's both right now. I'm bouncing around it. It's so catchy. I think the funniest part of this is so we completely like bastardized Alvin and the Chipmunks, Dave Seville, John Arbuckle got roasted. We kind of like we danced around Bill Cosby and the allegations a little bit, like in there. You were trying to figure out what the sexual situation was in the Land of the Lost.
And somehow Pee Wee Herman came out of this like
he's a
smelling
saint.
like roses.
He's a saint, and nobody brought up drugs on the Scooby Doo side of things, which is, you know, the wink wink nudge nudge is that van was Cannabis City. Talked about the Smurfs.
Yeah.
Gargamel being a meth head.
One chick in the whole village.
I mean, it's a lot to unpack. I'm glad this wasn't a Christmas episode, because I'm glad we can put the content warning back on this one.
Enjoy that one, kids.
Yeah.
We'll see you next Christmas.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the next time we decide not to have,
unless we do an Easter episode.
Easter episode, just to clean the palate and and do that. All right. I guess that's it, Cap.
Yeah. That's all I got.
You got the do you have our outro music to send us back to our bed with no supper?
Oh, do I? Now it's time to go out and mow the lawn, because it's 11. Now it's blazing hot.
It's blazing hot and Fat Albert's over. So, all right. Well, let's sign off before we have to go and collect all those leaves. For the captain, this is Mike Madden. We hope you guys have a great night. We will see you next week.
Bye, Mike.
Shake and shiver. You know we got a mystery to solve, so stay tuned, be ready for your